Columbia Broadcasting System and its affiliated stations present...
Oh, a microphony.
And a phony at the mic.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
Good morning, everybody. It's Sunday morning, and it is another easy like Sunday morning. Just wanted to come on for a little bit here. I will not be joined by anybody today. Abby is on vacation. He's out of town, so he won't be back. Actually, he won't be back for another 2 weeks, so I'm not going to see him on the Cryptids and Conspiracies either next Saturday, so or Sunday. So anyway, look forward to him coming back. Doing a little earlier this morning because I have a lot of things to do on this bright, sunny Sunday. So wanted to say hello and good morning. I wasn't here last weekend. I was actually here, but I wasn't able to stream on either Cryptids and Conspiracies or the Sunday morning show because I was doing some needed things to the outside of my home. And that took precedent. I had to run electrical for a mini split that we put into the house, a second mini split. So I had to run electrical and change breakers and a whole bunch of stuff and spend a shitload of money that I don't have. So now that I'm even more broke, thank you very much. But I felt it necessary to come on and say hi to everybody that's might be watching this, or anybody that might drop into the chats either on Rumble or on YouTube. Recap of last night's show for Cryptids and Conspiracies. What a great subject we had going on. Great conversation, I think, between the three of us, T-Bunny, Cruel Beerab, and myself. I will say it was doing a little bit of research was kind of like a refresher for me. It wasn't mentioned in on the stream, but back when I was still in the golf industry in San Diego, I had the fortune of meeting quite a number of celebrities and sports athletes. One of them happened to be Bobby Riggs. I actually was able to interact with Bobby Riggs on a couple of different occasions, and I was able to observe Bobby Riggs. And this was obviously before he passed away in 95. I think it was 91, 92, somewhere in that time frame. And he played on a golf course that I worked at this golf course that's no longer in existence. I think it got completely turned into condos or something like that. So, but yeah, and got to meet Bobby Riggs, not on a personal level, but more like as a customer level. And he was a over-the-top personality, but he seemed like he would be a fun guy to hang out with. I could tell you that. Definitely an over-the-top kind of guy. And so the subject never came up because it was I never asked it, but he definitely was a character to behold. And at that time, obviously, it was just about 20 years after. So he was 55 when he did this Battle of the Sexes. And so we're looking at, 20 years later, he was pushing, 75 at that time. So, but he almost looked exactly like he did back then, except he had a little more gray and a little more wrinkles. But he still had that personality and persona. Hey, B-Dog in the house. Good morning. Mr. Jim from Jim's Landscaping. Sir, hello, good morning, welcome. But yeah, we had a good time, good subject matter. I think it was a great show. And T Bunny came up with a good subject. So we will be back at it on next Saturday for a little cryptid action. So, but this morning I just wanted to, come on and say hi and let people know what's going on with the channel. I'm going to still be doing the Sunday show-ish. Kind of toying with the idea of adding another stream, either a Friday night or Saturday morning. I'm not sure yet. But I'm also going to start adding other subject matter in the form of videos to the channel at some point here. One of the reasons why I took the weekend off, in addition to doing a lot of the home stuff, like running the electrical and doing siding and all this other stuff, was also that I'm going to made some preparations to my work shed so that I can actually start filming out there and filming some woodworking videos and things. So it was part of what I was doing over the weekend, and still a project in progress. So it's not completed, but that doesn't mean that I can't do some sort of content based out there and based on the woodworking ideas that I want to do. And speaking of woodworking, I didn't put it in the description, but I might later. There's a channel out there that I've been following, a new channel. I think he just started in 2025. And it's called The Blessed Carpenter. Look him up on YouTube. And he's doing some great things with nothing. The guy's done videos on him buying secondhand equipment like saws and things of that nature. And so he's doing a lot of scrap wood work, pallets and other scrap wood that he finds and he's accumulated. And now the guy, I think he's on his 10 or 11 weeks. He's been on YouTube. He's already 1,100 freaking subscribers. Great for him. Awesome. In fact, he actually did a live stream last night, and which blew me away. And he had a live stream from his shop, and he had I don't know if they were friends or family members in there helping him. They were actually doing production for an order, and he was making wooden swords for something. So I'm like, that's cool. That's awesome. So go over there to the Blessed Carpenter channel, woodworking channel, and give him a sub and a like. You won't regret it. Real nice young man. So I'm going to if he does more live streams, I'm going to be dropping in on his chats more often. I did last night and said I thought his channel was great. But going back to what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be doing a little bit more video stuff. I might be doing some pop culture. I'm going to go back to, like, recently we did some political shit, and it's kind of like leaves a bad taste in your mouth, because it's almost like you're a one-trick pony, and I don't want to be that. Screw that shit. I kind of remember back when I first got on YouTube. Oh God, was it? This is 25. I think it was 2021. 2020, late 2020, early 21. I actually, I had a YouTube channel or account back from 2014, and it was originally called Wookiee Fever 1969. Because I just needed to put a name on it. And that was a name that I had used for years. But so I had this channel since 2014. And I was just mainly using it to watch. Like, at first, it was my favorite gun channels. Hickok 45 and Such, Double Aught. So a lot of stuff like that. And that expanded into survival stuff. And then it got into woodworking, home building, comedy, all this stuff. And it's kind of expanded. I got like about 300 channels right now that I have on my list. Oops. And so then back in actually it was 2020, I believe. 2020, and I was watching one of my favorite YouTube channels at the time, and was Friday Night Tights, FNT, with Gary at Neurotic and stuff like that. And he had a whole panel on and whatnot. And, you know, it's the height of the, I don't know, the height of all the fan rebellion and stuff like that, fandom menace and stuff with Star Wars and the whole 9 yards and stuff like that. So I was watching that, and they played this song for Az. It was Meltdown Ocean Man. And apparently the song was done by a gentleman, a professional musician, but had his own pop group, pop or rock or whatever you want to call it, punk. I don't even know the genre, to be honest with you. But he did this, he made this song based on a video that Az from Heel versus Babyface had done several nights or a week earlier, maybe even farther than that, a couple weeks away from that night. And so they played it, and it had a music video too. So they had a lot of deep fake stuff, and it was like fucking genius. Whoever put that together was fucking genius. So I had been on Twitter just to follow my favorite YouTube people, because that's what they always talk about. Oh, on Twitter this, on Twitter that. So I followed all the usual people, you know, on there for Doomcock and Gary from Neurotic and Az. I followed the Quarter Black Garrett, and Lady Gravemaster at the time was his producer. Now it's the other gal, I can't, her name escapes me, but now she's a producer. And there's a whole bunch of ancillary people around that. And then other, you know, like Doomcock and all the people that he would have on. So I'm following all these people. And then I stumbled across one night, I think it was 2021, stumbled across a thread on Twitter. And they were talking about a subject from World War II. Very, very unfortunate events that happened in Germany and France and etc. So anyway, that was a discussion going on. And one of the primary people in the thread was this cat named The Problem Being. And I'm like, I know that name from some fucking place. Where do I know that name from somewhere? And so I was interjecting a little bit because I just kind of was watching, and I actually followed him. All of a sudden, I just immediately followed him and was able to send him a direct message. And I sent him a direct message, and it was basically about the subject matter. And I told him that my father was served in the United States Army in World War II and helped liberate a camp in 45 and all this other shit. So we started a rapport, and then he followed me back on messaging and stuff like that. So we went back and forth that night, and I asked him, I said, hey, are you the dude that made the song for Az, Meltdown Ocean Man? And he's like, yes, that's me. I'm like, holy shit, you're a fucking genius. So anyway, so we started a rapport that way and a friendship over time. And then he invited me to come on a YouTube channel. Actually, what happened was he was a regular on a YouTube channel. So he was a regular on a lot of different channels because of his personality and his knowledge and shit like that. He is a genius. He's fucking smart. So it was a channel at the time, which I really do miss. It was called Captain Cockney Spock. At that time, it has changed over the years, and now it's no longer on YouTube. But I digress. So Problem Being was on there, and I would get into the chats, and I would say hi and blah, 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 the Problem Being. Captain Cockney Spock would say hi and all this other shit. And I was all, ooh, ah, YouTuber. Ooh. So as time went on, I started getting in the chats. Captain invited me on one time. He sent me a link. And so I'm like, holy shit. So I went on. And problem being, and him and a couple other people that were regulars. Now, there's people out there that are on YouTube channels that are not YouTubers. They're personalities. And they are part of a network of people who are friends with other YouTubers and such and everything. And so they developed like this little community at that time. And some of them are still around. So anyway, that's how I started getting into being on YouTube, was that, and through the captain. And then I came on one of his associates or friends, whatever, colleague of his, had another YouTube channel called Mr. Brown Alliance. And I'd been in his chats, and he did invite me on, I think once. I was on his channel once, I think, at that time. And I was on again a couple other times. But anyway, so needless to say, and I met some interesting people through Mr. Brown. One of them being Cruel Beer App. So one thing led to another. Then was another YouTuber that at the time had a relationship with the captain, and that was the channel called Cardinal Sin. And now that gentleman passed away in 2023. He had a channel where he was talking about mostly had a show called Into the Fringe, and it was a great paranormal type show, mostly UFOs. And he would have, I don't know how the hell he did it, but he got these authors to come on his streams, and it was freaking awesome. But I was on his show. He had a show on Sundays, which was, I think it was called Cardinal Sin and Friends. It was like a game show type deal where they did trivia questions. And he invited me on that one time, several times actually. And fortunately, the Time Prophet was on there as well as a panelist. And so I developed a rapport with the Time Prophet, great guy. And so it was neat to meet all these different people, And as time went on, and then I got the balls to freaking decide to, I want to do a YouTube channel. So this was like early 2022, I decided I'd do a channel and I'd have some people on. And from that point, it started out like really bad videos, really bad readings of articles from fucking 30-year-old outdoor magazines about Bigfoot. So, but I started put out a video or two, whatever. And I don't know. And then I decided, I asked these guys, these YouTubers, I said, hey, do you think I should do pop culture or should I do something different? Because everybody had a take on stuff. Everybody had their own flair about the subject matter. Somebody was a quasi-expert in this, and another one is an expert in that, and all this other shit. And everybody was badmouth movies and TV shows and shit. And rightfully so. Some of them were shit. No question. But anyway, so I said, hey, should I do pop culture stuff? I'm really not that big of a, pop culture type of guy. Excuse me. Itch in my ear. Really not that big of a pop culture guy. So I figured, okay, I'll bring some of these people on. And I brought some of these personalities on and stuff. And we had a great time. I had a great time with them. I mean, yeah, I had some rocky starts there and whatever. And, of course, it'd go off the rails a little bit, but hey, we had fun. It was great. It was just like, yucking it up with friends sometime, after work or whatever. It was kind of what I felt like it was. And it just went on from there. And I developed these rapports with these, the personalities and the other YouTubers. I kind of miss that. There's a lot of guys that I haven't had on in literally over a year and a half, almost 2 years. And then there's other guys who are periodically. I'll have them on periodically, but not as often as I would like and stuff. But, but there's a lot of good guys out there, a lot of good channels, and a lot of people they're just doing it to have fun. A lot of these folks. But like I said, I miss some of these guys that I've done this. There's a bunch of them, and I don't want to name a lot of names, outside of the actual YouTubers, but I'm just going to name the one, the captain, and and Gil, and and then the Mr. Brown Alliance. But again, there's a lot of ancillary people that were involved with those channels, and they used to interchange quite a bit, some of them. But now it's different. There's only, of those 3 channels, there's only one left, and that's Mr. Brown's Alliance, and he's doing a great job with his podcast, and I think he's on Spotify now too, which is awesome for him. But I know in the chat we got Jim from Jim's Landscape, and he does Star Trek fan films. I mean, that's awesome. Freaking Star Trek fan films. He gets costumes, and he gets friends to do stuff, to record video, and then he puts the backdrops in and all this stuff. It's great stuff. I think it's awesome, and he's having a great time with it. I think he's doing a pretty good job with it. So cheers to Jim. And I know Abby and I have been talking, and we've been trying to figure out how to get B-Dog to be on a stream. Hey, we got to figure that out. We'll get B-Dog on, and we can have a whole hell of a lot of fun at that point. But yeah, so I kind of miss a lot of the guys I had on, especially those YouTube personalities that aren't really YouTubers per se. They just appear a lot. Most of those guys, unfortunately, are 8 hours away from me in merry old England and Scotland. And so they're kind of far away. Especially now they're 8 hours away, and during the winter they're 7 hours away. So, but there's a lot of guys over there, a lot of other YouTubers I'd like to have on more often, which I'd used to have on more often, but you know how life is, things you got to do and things you can't do. So, but that's kind of what I wanted to talk about, and get some impressions from people. But since I've only got one person viewing over here, and I got one person on, which is probably me, over on Rumble. B-Dog. Yes, yeah. It would be fun. We'd have a good time. You, me, and Abby could come up with our own little show. We got to pick a date though, our day and stuff. But yeah, we need to get you hooked up and everything. So with stuff. But yeah, I want to get some of those personalities back, and I know some people's days are, especially with the time difference, some of those people's days are caught up with being on other shows like Mr. Brown. And there's other people too that are here in the United States that I wish I could get back on the show for some legitimate streaming, but that's up to them. I don't know. I have no, I've buried my hatchet. I don't care anymore. All I know is that we had a fun time doing streams, and with some of the best shows, some of the most views, and some of the most video takedowns. But every once in a while, you got to be a little edgy. So, but I do miss that. And I wish things were different and everything. But that's out of my hands. That's not up to me. That's up to that person. And it is what it is. And if not, then, God bless you and keep on moving forward. That's because that's what I got to do. I got to move forward and keep on going. And like I said, I was going to be thinking about putting together some woodworking videos, starting out like real rough with videos and stuff, posting them. I have another YouTube channel. I have two other YouTube channels that have zero freaking. I think I have, the one has some paranormal stuff on it, like 1 or 2 videos, and that's it. The other one has 0 because it's all woodworking. It's woodworking based channel. And I'm thinking about just putting it on this channel, since this channel is called Wookie Fever Presents. And so I'm presenting to you something, a subject matter, or I'm presenting to you a project, something like that. And there's ways in the YouTube, and there's ways of putting things into YouTube that can differentiate and categorize those different videos for a specific niche. I'm going to try that. But again, I have the other channel just as a backup for that whole thing. But here's one thing I've noticed too, big time this year and last year, starting about mid-year last year, I noticed the number of views in my streams and number of rewatches on the streams are way freaking down on YouTube versus the history of the channel. Way down, way freaking down. But on Rumble, I was surprised that the views have been fairly consistent, if not slightly rising, depending on the subject matter. Like, say, for like cryptids and conspiracies, it seems like everybody likes the conspiracies a little bit more than us talking about some cryptid, some hairy creature, lizard monster, or some box troll or some shit like that. They seem to like conspiracies more. And that's why we did that. That's why I liked that stream we did last night with Bobby Riggs, about Bobby Riggs and Billie Jean King, etc. Abby is really big into conspiracies and stuff, and he has a lot of information about a lot of different things, conspiratorial wise. So, but I've noticed that's the difference. We see more of a lively viewing with a conspiracy versus a cryptid. So, yeah, conspiracies are also more fun. Yes, they are more fun because, especially the newer that they get, but I digress. Yeah, so conspiracies, they are always fun. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing that, adding more content in a different niche on this same channel, kind of keeping the Sunday morning thing and kind of expanding to something else. Still doing the cryptids and conspiracies with Bunny. I think that's a great thing we have going on there. And again, that's always simulcast on Rumble, as well as this. I'm simulcasting on Rumble right now. So, and I compare the numbers. That's the thing. I go back and I look, over time, and I check out the view numbers, and Rumble's views have been bigger, more views than YouTube this week, right? This year, let alone last year. Excuse me, itchy. So, but yeah, I'm gonna do some stuff, and for woodworking, that was part of what I was doing this weekend, was getting things set up, fixing also the walls in my shed, putting up pegboard and stuff so I can hang things and be more organized. I actually did a floor extension in the shed. So from the door, I expanded out 8 feet so I can roll my workbench and other things, other materials and equipment out onto that to get it out of the shed, because I have an 8x12 shed. And I purposely made the shed so that I could add the floor later with tongue and groove. And so from the door. So I was able to get that done last weekend. Actually, Monday. It was Monday. I actually completed the floor. But I kicked my ass. I kicked my ass. With fucking crawling around underneath the freaking house and putting together pavers and everything else for the base for the floor extension and the sighting and the freaking mini split and all that shit killed me. So I went to the chiropractor Monday night. It was like fucking hurt me, dude. So I've been dealing with that too, bad back. So, B-Dog, I want to use Rumble more, just not as much content or interaction. Yeah, and a lot of people have touched on that on X, in that Rumble. It seems that the prominent channels on Rumble right now, the prominent ones, are the ones that are more political channels and more political personalities. And I guess that's just an inevitability of what was happening on YouTube. People were being chased off, demonetized, silenced, oppressed for opinions or stating facts that apparently disagreed with the narratives that were being promoted. And so for their facts that they were pointing out, and they had receipts for the facts, they still got either their channels taken away, deleted, or whatever, demonetized, and pretty much subsequently, ran off from YouTube. A lot of people that were political, and some not. And so now they're on Rumble. So Rumble is getting better. It's just a slower boat right now. There are a lot of the pop culture people that are doing both Rumble and YouTube, and they're gaining momentum over there. They're bringing a lot of their viewership from YouTube over to Rumble, but they've not gone Rumble exclusive. I would like to go Rumble exclusive, but right now it's all on YouTube. YouTube as of last night, I had 159 subscribers. I have no idea what I have right now, but yeah, it's I still have 159, and that fluctuates. I had one of the YouTube personalities that I know. He actually came into my chat a couple months back, and he commented on, "Wow, I thought you would be like 500 subs by now," and I kind of did too after the several years I've been doing this, but it is what it is. It's just a combination of things. So, but I'm learning. Everybody has to learn. There's a learning curve. So, but yeah, Rumble has the potential to be better than it is, and it's just getting there. It's just getting there. So yeah, but again, I'm going to be doing more woodworking videos and things like that and trying to post those here. I don't know when that's going to be because, it's tougher than, it's not just like sitting down and turning on the freaking computer and just jumping on, for a stream. This is a lot different than doing, woodworking videos. It's a lot different. But yeah, so it takes time. You got to go through and video, and it probably takes, a long time to video just a few scenes to get things right. And then you got to edit those. You got to have a good editing program, software. You have to have a decent camera. I'll probably do most of my stuff from my phone. I have a small camcorder the wife got me for Christmas, but it's a cheap Chinese guy. And so I got to toy around with that. But it's just a matter of time. Yeah, B-Dog, mostly politics there right now. I follow some mountain bikers and snowboarders that are not on there. Yeah, it's mostly politics right now, and it can't be the end all be all. They've got to court other people, and they did a good job of getting the personalities like Russell Brand, Steve Crowder, Bongino, who's now working for the government, but his studio is still there under the command of his wife. and their production company with Vince Colonnese now taking over the Rumble show and the radio show he does. But yeah, there's a lot of guys. But then, like I said, there's several of the YouTuber, the pop culture guys, the comic guys, stuff like that are doing both. So, and it's good to see them doing that, but we need more. You need more fucking like woodworkers and creators and stuff like that over there to expand. They need to diversify their portfolio of personalities and genres and niches. So, hopefully I can contribute to that with this channel. But we'll see. Damn, I got 3 viewers so far. And so yeah, hopefully we'll have I'll have more content to put up on the show, on the channel. Like I said, I don't know what we're gonna be what other days. I was toying with doing Friday night again, because I used to do Friday nights, and then when I switched to Saturday mornings, which seemed to be kind of a little bit easier time on Saturday mornings. Hey, Abby, I need coffee. Show is on his coffee. Yes. Coffee. Yeah. So I might start doing something like that. I might do a solo show Friday nights maybe, and just kind of like just see what the hell's going on. Friday nights was not a bad time. A lot of YouTubers, yeah, they do Friday nights. The big guys do the Friday night stuff, but there's a lot of people jumping. There's more traffic on a Friday night than there is, let's say, like right now, like a Sunday morning, because everybody's recovering from Saturday night shit. So maybe I'll do something on Friday nights, just do a little stream. Maybe I'll talk about golf, or I'll talk about freaking woodworking or something like that, or some other kind of fucking harebrained scheme idea, whatever. I don't know. But we'll see. I don't know. I kind of do miss the Saturday morning, because the Saturday morning seemed like they had we had more reach. We had more participation in the chats and things like that. So, but I'll work on that. Again, like I said, I'm going to be doing some other content to put on this channel and see how it flies. It won't be right away, because it takes a long time to set up and film scenes for woodworking and stuff like that, and come up with your project and the whole 9 yards and get that all dealt with. And then editing. Woohoo! Yay! So all that good shit. So I am going to bug out right now, 7:36 a.m. So I'm going to hit it. And I want to thank Jim's Landscaping for being in the chat. Thank you, sir. B-Dog, always a pleasure. And Abby, he's somewhere out in the nether regions. So everybody have a great Sunday morning or afternoon, or wherever you're at. And hopefully we will see you guys again next Saturday night on Cryptids and Conspiracies. And we'll see you then. Bye for now.
We all just want to party. Yes, yes, we don't care what we're told. No, we only just